Distinguished guests, I'm very pleased and honored at the same time to be able to be here with you today. There's a very important panel coming up, the energy dimensions of cooperation in the Black Sea. And as you all know, we are going through some troubled times currently, but the Black Sea is no longer a peripheral space as it used to be once. It has become a strategic point in the entire European energy stability programs. It has become a stability pole from a security of supply perspective, and I think it will play a very important role in the reconstruction of Ukraine. Today's panel will look, as I told you, at the energy dimensions of cooperation in the Black Sea. I think there's a lot to discuss and a lot to explore and a lot of conclusions to withdraw from these discussions. But most of all, how do Romania, Ukraine and the regional companies turn energy into a resilience, investment and reconstruction instrument? And I think we will find out together today. I'm very pleased to have alongside with me two special guests from Ukraine that I will introduce shortly, but also Mr. Cristian Bușoi, State Secretary in the Ministry of Energy here in Romania, and also Alexandru MAXIMESCU, Vice President of OMV Petrom in Romania. Unfortunately, Mr. Sebastian BURDUJA, as you well know, a member of the Parliament, former Minister of Energy in Romania, and currently one of the advisors of the Prime Minister's advisors, is not able to be here today. But he prepared a special video message that he recorded some minutes before, and I will invite you to listen to this message and then we'll head on.
Hi everybody, this is Sebastian BURDUJA. I am an honorary advisor to our Prime Minister and Member of Parliament, and I was the Minister of Energy for 2 years until June of this year. I am honored to be a part of this panel and of this conference, and I want to congratulate the new Strategy Center and my friend George Scutaru for putting together this wonderful event. I do believe that at this time of great challenges but also great opportunities, the solution is to sit together at the same table and think about the future and how we can best position Romania and the region as leaders in energy security. This is what I've done as Energy Minister, and it all starts with setting our priorities right. After 17 years, we managed to adopt a new national energy strategy for Romania, which does set our priorities right. Energy security, energy affordability / competitiveness, and the Green Deal, third and last. I believe this is indeed the right order. We have to push forward and bring sanity to this public debate, which goes beyond ideology, and it is ultimately based on basic physics and economics. So security, competitiveness, and friendliness to the environment, clean energy. As far as regional cooperation goes, Romania has always stood by the Republic of Moldova and Ukraine. We have provided, in very delicate conditions, emergency energy to keep the lights on in both Ukraine and the Republic of Moldova. We have provided gas, including to help Transnistria when the Russian blackmail last winter cut off the gas in the middle of winter. And we will keep being there, supporting the effort in Moldova and Ukraine. Looking ahead, I believe there are many opportunities for our nations. We have developed, together with Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Hungary, the Green Corridor, a high voltage direct current cable, the longest in the world, which has now a feasibility study and is at a phase where it can begin, provided that it can find the right financing. And we do hope for the European Commission to contribute. This would connect the Caspian Sea to the Black Sea and make our countries more energy secure and affordable in terms of our utility bills. We believe that this project should be carried forth, and we believe it will provide an alternative to energy sources from our adversaries, which have kept Europe as a hostage for many decades. At the same time, Romania is greatly invested in its energy production. Over the course of my mandate, we managed to get about 14 billion euros in grant funding from the European Union, and this goes to gas plants, gas turbines, it goes to solar parks and windmills, to modernizing our grid, to battery storage, pretty much the entire structure of our energy system, which means that in a few years, not long from now, Romania will become fully energy independent. We're already pretty independent on gas. I remind you, we are the #1 gas producer in the EU, as well as now with the Black Sea gas in Neptune Deep. Come 2027, about a year from now, we will double our production. And so we will have gas to export as well, to Moldova, to Ukraine, to other countries in Europe, thereby reducing dependency on Russian gas. At the same time, we are fully engaged in projects that are working on improving interconnections. With Moldova, we have two critical interconnections, Suceava-Bălți, and a new line in the middle of our countries, crossing the Prut River, which will make Moldova a lot safer. As honorary advisor to our Prime Minister and as Member of Parliament, member of our Energy Committee in the Chamber of Deputies, I want to assure you of my full support, along with all those who care about our security and our freedom. I believe there is no freedom without energy security, and I believe that energy security for Romania and for the region is non-negotiable. I wish you all a great panel, a great discussion, and once again I do apologize for not being able to be there with you. Thank you.
By thanking Minister BURDUJA for his statement, I will say that yes, indeed, we will have to turn opportunities but also challenges coming to the region into basically a reconstruction capacity, and we can use energy for all of this. We will talk in the next minutes about the security of supply, also about cross-border cooperation. We'll talk about the role of the private companies here, but also the important role of the state, the institutional support that has to be given. So, Mr. Bușoi, I would like to find out from you, in your view, long term, what could follow, but more important, what can be done right now in terms of helping, using the energy sector and helping the entire process of rebuilding Ukraine, which is not something that should be discussed in the future. It's something that has to start right now. It's in the process, actually.
Thank you. Thank you so much. First of all, I would like also to say that we are already supporting Ukraine, Romania and European Union. Romania is part of European Union. Of course, we advocate inside the European Union at the level of EU institutions the need to continuously support Ukraine in all sectors and of course in the energy sector in particular. I've been also between 2019 and 2024 the chairman of the Industry and Energy Committee of the European Parliament. I had the privilege to have the former ministers of energy of Ukraine several times in the committee that I chaired, and we've been in close contact with the Ukrainian authorities. Romania contributed a lot to the synchronization of the Ukrainian and Moldovan electricity grids with the European continental grid via to XIIa system, and this was extraordinarily critical in the first hours of the invasion of the illegal war of Russia against Ukraine. Then European Union mobilized more than 2 billion for the energy infrastructure, energy projects, plus an EBRD facility of around 500 million that will come in the near future, including funds for the urgent needs, but also equipments that replaced what was destroyed by the bombarding. Romania is also making efforts to contribute additionally with what European institutions are doing. Once again, Romania is part of EU, of course, is contributing to the EU budget, but needs to do also its own contribution in addition to the EU contribution. So at this moment we are still discussing with energy companies, some of them controlled by Ministry of Energy, public companies, or where the public sector has an important saying, others purely private that we kindly ask to give support if possible, to give old equipments, donate or sell in order to replace what is damaged. Then of course we provide electricity at a fair price. This is very important to clarify, because there is this hybrid war, anti-EU, anti-Ukraine and anti-Romanian propaganda that unfortunately inoculated to the general public that we give electricity for free, which is not true, and continues to reduce the support of the or at least has the objective to reduce the support of Romanian population to Ukraine. So until now we did our best. We can do much more, and we should do much more until a peace agreement is reached. Then of course we can also contribute to the reconstruction. Here clearly by increasing the capacity of interconnections in the natural gas, so the gas transport and electricity transport, we can provide natural gas, and we have this amazing project, Neptun Deep. Once again, I'd like to congratulate OMV Petrom and Romgaz. It's the most strategic energy project in the area of Black Sea, and the most strategic project for Romania. And also with the increase of the domestic production, we can provide natural gas, and we have the necessary interconnections. Natural gas can come also via the vertical corridor, another very, very strategic project in the area, and Romania is part of it. We discussed extensively in Athens at PTEC with our strategic partners, with the United States, and the vertical corridor will become a reality, and the LNG gas, mainly from United States, also could be provided, and Romania, via its transport system and investment made by Transgaz, could be also participate to this effort. And then, of course, electricity, we have huge ambitions, projects in the area of nuclear, Cernavodă 3 and 4, small modular reactors, a lot of investments in renewables, solar, wind, maybe geothermal in the future, even that here the potential is low. For electricity is high for district heating. Offshore wind in the Black Sea also, because it's also in the context of Black Sea, the whole discussion. Electricity could be provided. I know also from the former Minister of Energy and from our counterparts in Ukraine that they also have a big projects, and also all of them in line with the European Union priorities in decarbonization after the war will stop. And here we can contribute with our expertise, with our engineers, with our construction teams, that are now building projects in Romania, but could be ready to build projects in Ukraine. In the natural gas transport and distribution systems, we have a lot of expertise, Transgaz, the distributors, companies, Romanian companies. In the electricity, less, as Transelectrica is struggling to find Romanian companies to implement their projects, but still here we have some expertise and Romanian engineers and specialists that could be part of the reconstruction.
Thank you for your answer. Definitely Romania can be an energy facilitator, also, or therefore a growth facilitator for Ukraine. But you know, it's like flying on a plane, and then there's this message: in the unlikely event of losing pressure, first thing you have to do is to put your own mask first in order to be able to help others. So my question in this regards would be, what are Romania's immediate priorities for the Black or in the Black Sea region, so that we can assume this role of energy security provider in the region by using the Black Sea? So what has Romania on its plate now that needs to be solved so that we can fulfill this role?
First of all, it's Neptune Deep, as I said. It's in the Black Sea, obviously, and will double Romania production. We'll add here, Alex can tell you more. We've been we've been together in this journey promoting, while I had an important responsibility in European Parliament from the early phases. Recently, together with the former minister Virgil Popescu, and I joked in the European Parliament saying, if a project has a mother and a father, OMV, Petrom and Romgaz, first it was Exxon, then Romgaz also should have a godfather, which was former Minister Virgil Popescu. Then, of course, Sebastian BURDUJA, we just heard, gave the necessary support, and now Bogdan Ivan and his team. I'm the State Secretary responsible with international and European affairs. We continue to provide the support, but this project is maybe one of the most important in the Black Sea. Then we have Cernavo, the C3 and C4, and refurbishment of C1, very close to the Black Sea. Then all the renewables projects in Dobruja that are also very relevant, as they will provide electricity to the region. Then we have the vertical corridor that goes via Romania and goes also to the west, to Hungary, but also to Republic of Moldova and to Ukraine, extremely important. We have the submarine cable for electricity with Georgia, and we have the green corridor that is supposed to link Azerbaijan, Georgia, Romania, and Hungary, but renewable electricity that Azerbaijan would like to build in the Caspian Sea, that will go via this vertical corridor via Romania, Hungary, and then the Western Europe and North of Europe, with a big amendment if Austria will finalize the necessary interconnection works between Austria and Slovakia and between Austria and Hungary. Here it needs to increase the capacity. But with the new package that was launched 2 days ago by European Commission, the grids package will discuss on Monday in the Energy Council, Energy Ministers Council in Brussels. And with the whole increased budget in the Connecting Europe facility, I think also the interconnections with this part of Europe will be important. And this will also come via Black Sea. It will be a cable that will cross Black Sea. All these projects that are regional projects, many of them supported politically and financially by European Union, and all of them with the political and logistic support of United States, not only vertical corridor and the nuclear projects, but also all the other projects will also give a security guarantee for the region, because it is known by everybody, and I think it was maybe with the better arguments discussed these days, economic opportunities, business projects in the region will contribute also to the security of the region.
Thank you very much, and we'll go to MAXIMESCU in a second. I just want to bring in part of the Ukrainians' perspective, because I told you at the beginning that we have two special guests from Ukraine joining us via video conference today, and I would like to start with Mr. Andrian PROKIP. He's head of energy programs at the Ukrainian Institute for the Future in Ukraine, and we've talked about the part of the energy priorities and part of the Romanian infrastructure that could serve the purpose of reconstruction in the future. I would like to know, Mr. PROKIP, first of all, thank you very much for joining the conference. What is the single most important thing, in your view, that Romania and Romanian companies can do in the next 12 months to support Ukraine's energy resilience efforts? If Mr.
Thank you so much. So, great pleasure to attend. Unfortunately, I could attend in person. Reconstruction is not something that will start in some specific moment and will end in some specific moment in some specific place. There will be different processes, different stages, and some of those may start before the war ends. So that what you mentioned, so what can be done in the nearest perspective. But what is the most important, that we can build a strong bilateral and multilateral economic ties representing new energy, new economy, contributing to regional mutual security in the region. So, and I would say that the need for strong Black Sea partnership is defined by geopolitical reality. And the reality is that uncontained Russia remains in the Black Sea, threatening to security to all the states in the region. Sure, a lot will depend on conditions of ending the war, but considering today's US behavior, looks like that Russia will remain uncontained. That's why we should think about a strategic partnership between our states. And when the full-scale war started, we actually rethought our relations, bilateral relations with Romania, because we thought that Romania can be a strategic partner for Ukraine. And from the firstly, we saw this on fuel supplies. So fuel supplies from Romania became extremely important for Ukrainian energy security and national security in general. So sure, after the war, Ukraine will seek ways to renew our refineries, and most probably that years after the war we will decrease fuel imports, including from Romania, but probably bitumen, we will continue importing bitumen because this reconstruction process will need a lot of this material. If talking about oil refining, so I would like to mention Bulgaria, that in Bulgaria and Romania, states took control over Lukoil's refinery. And actually this happened because of the war. And because of the war, we don't have our own refineries because Russia destroyed those. So I think it would be fair if Ukraine benefited from this process in some way, because it looks like that we will have, we have really difficult situation with electricity now, and this will define a higher demand for diesel fuel to fuel generators. So, and it looks like that Russia is trying to cut this logistic supply, diesel supply to Ukraine. So I think continuing this great cooperation that we had on fuel supplies from Romania to Ukraine, I think this will be very important during this winter and during the upcoming months. If talking about, I wouldn't mention this, the gas sector, gas production, vertical gas corridor, which played a huge role, but it was already mentioned and I believe that other speakers will talk about this. But I think that we should also think about increasing capacity of interconnectors, electricity interconnectors between our countries, because considering that both countries are developing their renewable power sector, and developed renewables need to have increased electricity physical flows to balance power system in both countries. And so we have our countries have some plans to renew existing, to renew the interconnectors we had in the past and build a new one. So, and I think we should advance in this in these directions, just to increase connectivity of our power system. So I think that these are two key directions. Cooperation for the next 12 months, cooperation in the field of fuel supplies, and working on increasing transmission capacities between our countries.
Thank you very much for your answer, Mr. PROKIP. I will bring in the private sector's perspective, and I'll come back to you with a follow-up question as well. Mr. Alexandru MAXIMESCU, Vice President of OMV Petrom. So Romania's role is definitely an important one. From a corporate perspective, how stable and how investable is the Black Sea currently, and how investable should the Black Sea become so that all these opportunities can be followed up upon?
Thank you very much, Adrian. Hello to everybody also from my side. A very warm welcome for all of our guests here in Bucharest today. I welcome that Bucharest is hosting a reconstruction conference for Ukraine after Warsaw, Rome, and many other European cities. I think it's good to see Bucharest on the map. Given the geographical location of Romania and the very close ties that Romania has had with Ukraine and will continue to have. Before coming to the Black Sea, I would like to recall a moment in March 2022, after the war has started, 3 weeks after the war. We had already the first fuel delivery from OMV Petrom towards Ukraine already done. It was difficult to see that a neighbor of ours is under military attack, and we have really done our utmost in order to help them out. And over the past years, we have developed very friendly relationships with a lot of companies in Ukraine, becoming last year the biggest fuel supplier for Ukraine. Now coming to the Black Sea. The Black Sea, in terms of energy supply, has a lot of potential. I think a lot of it was already shown, but a lot of untapped resources are still there to be developed. Starting with gas discoveries in Turkey, then in Romania, the Black Sea shows potential. OMV Petrom is present since more than 40 years in developing resources in the shallow part of the Black Sea, and since recently also in the deep part of the Black Sea. Initially, our flagship project Neptun Deep was started with ExxonMobil, that unfortunately has left Romania. But we took over operatorship, and we are fortunate to call Romgaz our partners in this 50-50% journey. We started building the project since more than a year. We are now drilling, the exploitation wells, and by end of 2026, the whole infrastructure will be laid down. The pipeline will be built, and starting with 2027, we will be able to deliver gas through the Transgaz network. I think Mr. Bușoi has outlined very correctly. Romania will become the major gas producer in Europe. Romania will be in a position to offer security energy in the region towards Moldova, towards Ukraine, and other neighboring countries. But this is only the start of the journey of the Black Sea, in our opinion. We believe firmly in the prospects of the Black Sea. Last week, a drilling rig has started the journey from Varna, from Bulgaria, towards a new exploration prospect in the Hanasparuh field in Bulgaria. We are proud to be also operator of the Hanasparuh field in Bulgaria, alongside with NewMed from Israel. This is just to show how much we believe in the potential. Now, coming back to your question, Adrian. Such a journey is not possible without a very serious and very tight cooperation with states along the Black Sea, starting with the Romanian authorities and alongside also with the authorities from Bulgaria, Turkey, and Ukraine. We are very happy to see that in the last years, this cooperation has been strengthened. We feel the involvement of the Romanian state in ensuring the safety and the security of this development. We see also neighboring countries' authorities getting much more involved and trying to cooperate. I think this is the key of to success, the cooperation between the countries in the west side of the Black Sea. When it comes to Ukraine, in the past years, we've developed with Naftogaz and many other Ukrainian companies a lot of business opportunities. Nevertheless, I think once the war will be finalized and the reconstruction will start, Romania, and especially the energy sector from Romania, can and will play a key role in the reconstruction of the Ukrainian energy system. And where can we do this? Exactly in the field where Romania has a lot of expertise, especially in the gas and oil. As you have seen, the Ukrainian gas infrastructure is one of the main targets of the Russians. A lot of fields are damaged, and we are already preparing this phase where we and also other Romanian companies can and will be directly involved in reconstruction of this field. I would close by my introductory remarks by saying that we have to have in mind that Ukraine is a very big country. Romania or Poland is not enough in order to help out the reconstruction of Ukraine. I think this will be a joint effort of the Western allies in order to get the reconstruction started and have it as a successful story. Thank you very much.
Well, because you mentioned Naftogaz as well, we'll move forward with our colleagues from Naftogaz shortly. Just a very, very, very quick follow-up question. Do you think, because there's a lot to be done, do you think that the institutional machinery in Romania is now up to speed, is fast enough for the requirements and challenges that we have to go through?
Let me rephrase it a little bit. I think a few years ago it was perhaps not in the best shape. I think in the meantime Romanian authorities have learned a lot. I think they are well underway. The mere fact that they are getting involved in daily activities, the mere fact that the private sector is working together with the state in order to prepare, in order to be resilient, in order to have plans, backup plans. I think this is a proof that Romania has learned its lesson. Romania is prepared, and I think also the state machinery as such, if we may call it like this, the state machinery is in a very good shape. And we as a private sector can only be of help if we are asked to do so.
Thank you very much. And as mentioned before, I'm very glad to welcome Mr. Oleksiy RYABCHYN, Chief of International Relations and Partnerships Office at Naftogaz in Ukraine. So, Mr. RYABCHYN, how does Naftogaz at this time? We've seen and heard the Romanian perspective, both private and institutional. How does Naftogaz see the role of regional partnerships in securing gas supply and infrastructure resilience given the current context?
Dear distinguished panelists, first of all, I would like to thank to Romania for the support that your country has provided. And unfortunately, I've not been able to do this in person, but I really tried to do this. My previous job, I was advisor to the Vice Prime Minister on EU accession, Oleksiy, who has now become the ambassador to the ES, and I was responsible for the energy, environment, and infrastructure. And I saw personally when the war started how, I will say diplomatically, some of the member states find some challenges, but I saw that Romania find opportunities, and we implemented already a huge amount of great successful projects together. And I bet when we will join the EU accession, we will remember this and we will do much more. So thank you very much for this. Second, I would like to be super honest and transparent, but I need always to count on some security threats in our public communication, because we see the correlation between when we are discussing some partnership and announce them, the very next day Russian strikes, and I don't want to threaten our future partnership with the colleagues or disclose some of the information. But it's a really hard job, especially when we have this, as you know, the corruption scandals in Ukraine. Like we as an energy company, the national one, was a champion in corporate governance in many others. It needs to be more transparent and honest. So maybe to some of the questions I will not be able to reply, but would like to do this face to face. So also it's really interesting that I have a Romanian day today, because in the morning my colleagues from our daughter company, Gas with Bologna, UGV, which came to me saying the existing MOU between us and OMV Petrom is expiring. We need to sign another one, and Naftogaz need to be part of it, and you are the one who is signing it. So I said, okay. So I would like to announce to Alex that yes, we are signing the NDA for our partnership. I guess this is I am super safe to say that we will continue the project that we had recently, and a new one, especially in the Black Sea, which is in a super interested of us. We are following your successes. Congratulations to this. We would like to be to find a synergy between our countries, our companies, and we'll definitely explore this venue, because this is basically an answer to the moderator's question. Like, when Russia started the severe attacks to all of the energy infrastructure, and like we can understand the, you know, like an economy of war, oil plays a huge amount of military influence because you fuel the tanks, and like we're attacking Russian oil facility, they're attacking us, but like gas infrastructure is a pure civilian one. So we extract gas to heat up the houses during the winter, that's it. And when the Russia attacks this type of infrastructure with the maniacal and terroristic, you know, like attacks, it has no other issues, just like to destroy our resilience, to decrease our willingness to fight, especially during some of the negotiations that they're trying to file. But it won't happen. You know, like when Ukrainians, you know, in Kyiv sits a couple of hours or 10 hours, I don't know, like right now, without electricity, and you think about the soldiers in trenches, in cold, like, and without any, you know, like civilized norm, like we will survive definitely, and will become stronger, especially with this type of support. We have two severe series of attacks. One was in February and March on our infrastructure. We more or less recovered. Then the Russian strikes really hard on our gas infrastructure and gas storages, destroying, and it was like really painful. But with the help of European Union, with the help of Norway, with the help of US, with the help of a lot of donor organizations and companies who helped us to procure gas, who help us with finances to procure gas, who help us with alternative routes, with alternative solution, we feel much more comfortable and safe. We were speaking about the vertical corridors. It's a really great initiative, and we are happy that the US is championship in it. And we were in PTEC, so this is like a flagship conference that were visited by two US state secretaries. And we signed some deals there about the long term, and the vertical corridor is a really great example of a transatlantic partnership. We do hope that the tariffs that exist right now will be prolonged, and it will be a sustainable corridor for the US LNG, in addition to one that we have from Poland and from Lithuania. And like we see that our gas infrastructure, especially gas storages, will help in utilizing the market in Ukraine, but also to the member states, because this is one of the key solutions how to balance a lot of unpredictability in the LNG. Where, as I told, like we are looking very, very close at the Black Sea and see this is as like one of the biggest, unfortunately, post-war priorities. But to untap these post-war priorities, we need to start work on them on yesterday. And this is why we would kindly ask to invite our partners either to Kyiv, or we're happy to arrange a meeting in Bucharest to discuss this partnership together. And we see a great potential and a great synergy. I will stop here for your additional questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. RYABCHYN. Very important and solid statements from yourself and also from Mr. PROKIP. Just before launching a second round of questions, I would like to see some hands risen in the audience, just to have an idea of how many, to have enough time for the Q&A as well. One, oh, if two actually. Okay, good. Three. Let's take the questions and try to wrap them up in short sentences and fast answers, so that we can have another round of questions. Please, I will approach you. Is there a mic in the room, or no? I will join you. Please, I will hold.
Good afternoon. My name is Mariana Prisezhnuk. I'm a journalist and researcher from Ukraine. I can take. Okay. First of all, sincere congratulations with great perspective of Neptune Deep. And my first question: could you please elaborate more about Lukoil state? Is there any processes regarding closure of this company or no? And the second question: what is your strategic vision regarding Transnistria energy units? Because as far as I understand, and not being energy at all, energy specialist at all, even when Moldova receives energy from Romania, it is interconnected through Transnistrian units. Could you please explain your vision on Transnistria energy units in future? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So first, Lukoil, second question about the energy units in Transnistria. Mr. Bushoi, would you like to help us answering those?
Yes. On Lukoil, of course, Romania is extremely committed to implement US sanctions. This was very clear from the beginning. Also, we are among the member states that would like to see the two companies, Lukoil and Rosneft. Clearly, Lukoil is also only concerning Romania, being listed for sanctions also at the EU level. But this is something that will be discussed in the Council, and you know, also from the discussions related to other sanctions, sometimes there are member states that are opposing this. But if they receive the exemptions, I'm thinking about Hungary, maybe they will agree also on this. We'd like to see that this opportunity will have a conclusion, as Lukoil will not be present anymore in Romania. The operations will be taken over, either via an international agreement for all international operations of Lukoil, and there are discussions with several United States companies or accepted international companies, because Ganvor was a joke. It was clear for everyone that the control, or the influence at least, is also very close to Russia. Or if it will not be an international deal, then maybe a Romanian company or a European US company, but maybe a Romanian company will take over the operations in Romania. But the sanctions will be implemented. Now they were prolonged until April. Sorry for the stations, petrol stations, and until January for selling the operations. Already the refinery is in a difficult situation. It was already closed for maintenance, and with the sanctions, with the reluctance of the partners to continue cooperation, the situation is difficult. Of course, we have contingency, we have reserve plans. We spoke with OMV Petrom, with Rompetrol, with other players, Socar, MOL, Oscar, and others, to see how the situation could be managed. In principle, via imports, and we have capacity of import. At least for diesel, we can handle the situation, but the sanctions will be implemented in Romania very clearly, and we didn't ask, and we do not have an intention to ask derogations, not even in the moment when 13th of December was the deadline. Now it's April next year. Then on Transnistria, of course, for many years, decades, Republic of Moldova was dependent. Now the situation is different. Romania is providing electricity also at a market price. So it's an economic, of course, the availability, it's important. The fact that in cases of emergency, like we do with Ukraine, when the bombing is very heavy, we mobilize electricity and give support on some hours, some days, depending on the request from the Ukrainian, in coordination with the Republic of Moldova, because sometimes we need to coordinate and maybe we have less electricity for Moldova. Already the Republic of Moldova is building their own capacities in renewables, and I've been to Chișinău. I'm in close contact with Dorin Junghetu and his team. We are impressed about the number of renewable projects that they managed to build. So little by little, I don't see any more dependency on Transnistria, and hope in the future, as the situation will remain gray there from security and political perspective, Republic of Moldova will be only in cooperation with Romania, because you'll have more and more electricity and their own renewable production.
Thank you very much. Please. It's on.
Hello. Yes, I'm Călin Pantea. I have a question for Mr. Maximescu. If you could share with us some of your plans to cope with the danger of drifting mines, and lately we saw also a faulty drone, Sea Baby, in protecting of your assets in the Black Sea, actual and future one, the Deep Neptune. Thank you.
Difficult question, in all honesty. We are prepared to tackle kinetic dangers. We are prepared to tackle hybrid warfare, but only in very close cooperation with the Romanian authorities. We have established a mechanism that is functioning very well, whereby all operations are of course led by the relevant authorities in close cooperation with them. We are offering them the necessary support and implementing their recommendations. What I welcome very much is the exercises that we have had, drills with international expertise. There are countries like Norway that have a lot of knowledge in this field, and best practices that they have shared with us. Those are the main elements of our readiness in order to tackle such security risks. Of course, you can never be ready for such threats. We have to remain alert. We have to continue exchanging also with other operators in the Black Sea, in the North Seas, in order to be best prepared for such a security risk. We really hope that this will not happen, but we have to be prepared for the worst case scenario. Thank you.
One final question from the audience, and then we'll go to our Ukrainian partners.
I'm Bogdan Berneaga from the New Strategy Center. I have a question for both Romania and Ukraine. In the light of what we've seen in the Baltic Sea with false flag operations, ships dragging their anchors and sabotaging pipelines, cables, data cables, all kinds of stuff. What are the plans to prevent something like that, both from Ukraine and Romania in the future?
Thank you. I would like to invite our Ukrainian guests to start answering. Mr. PROKIP, Mr. RYABCHYN.
I will start. This is what I'm trying to say to huge amount of stakeholders. We just had a closed energy NATO discussion, and in many other formats. Like in a new type of warfare, like when Russia attacks all of the type of infrastructure, none of the LNG terminals in Baltic, in Black Sea infrastructure is not yet safe. And if we are working, but not if, like we are working on squeezing out Russian molecules from Europe and supplementing it with other resources, like it would be stupid not to think that Russian will not respond. They will respond, especially having all of this new type of drone technologies, which unfortunately your country also feel when they're flying, like through Ukraine and land into your or like other neighbor's country. And this is just the beginning, and like we need to think about how to invest more in energy security. Some of the answers are possible. There are the NATO ships in the Black Sea that can play a more active role that they are playing right now. Because I remember when we didn't have a full-scale war, we hired a vessel to do the 3D seismic. It worked for a short time. Then comes a Russia warship saying, "You better to get out because we'll have a training there," and they left. And this is how we were not being able to execute the contract and start to developing this. And it was already understood that Russian will be really active. Now Ukraine, but not having an active Black Sea fleet, but other type of military activity, is able to control at least its own naval territory. But this is just the beginning. So your question is completely right. We need to think how we are protecting our strategic infrastructure, and learning from the lessons that we have. We are inviting all of our partners and allies to visit to our facilities to see how we are protecting our infrastructure.
Thank you very much, Mr. RYABCHYN. Mr. PROKIP, your approach.
Yeah. So I suppose that among the leverages to protect some countries' infrastructure is to attack Russian infrastructure, because Russians understand only the language of power, and they will try to test reactions with different hybrid and direct attacks. So we all should understand that we have to be ready to attack in response, symmetrically and asymmetrically. And just a very small example. So in 2022, Russia launched less than 2,000 Shahid drones on Ukraine. During the first 6 months of 2025, they launched 22,000. And it's clear that there is no capable air defense to protect the infrastructure from such a huge amount of drones. The only way how you can protect your infrastructure is to attack. And only if Russian infrastructure is attacked, only this can push them to stop. So maybe not everyone like this, but we should understand that we have to be ready to strike back.
Thank you very much. If any of you gentlemen would like to have a word on this.
Well, it's a concern, and it will remain a concern, and also cybersecurity will remain a concern on the long term. As now, okay, we are in this area, maybe finally with the help of United States and European Union, and not necessarily like it looks today, but in different terms, peace will be possible. But even beyond this, we need to be prepared. On cyber, of course, to implement NIșTU, the critical infrastructure is extended. On physical energy infrastructure, we have procedures, we have laws, and especially on Neptune Deep, our main priority in the Black Sea, physical infrastructure, there are plans and institutions that knows what to do and will protect this infrastructure.
One final comment from my side. The recently launched EU security strategy at the Black Sea, I think it is a very good add-on to the already existing framework of protecting critical infrastructure. And if Romania will host this initiative, I think it's only of benefit of this very important energy projects that we are investing in right now. Thank you.
Before thanking our distinguished guests for participating in today's panel and contributing to this discussion, I would like, because a picture says 1,000 words, and a moving image, a video says even more. So let's have a very short look. It's a very brief presentation of what actually Neptune Deep means for, in terms of complexity for OMV Petrom, but also for Romania. We'll have a look at the video right now.
The Black Sea of Romania. Off this coastline is a natural resource that, in a few years' time, will deliver new, cleaner energy. A resource that could turn Romania into the largest gas producer in the European Union. The first deep water discovery in the Black Sea was made in 2012. The Domino 1 gas field is 170 kilometers offshore and in water 1 kilometer deep. Further exploration identified another field called Pelican South. 1 kilometer beneath the surface. The pressure is 100 kilos per square centimeter. So the latest technology will be used to install the subsea equipment. Over the Domino reservoir, there are 2 drill centers. Each wellhead is about the size of a small van. Both drill centers are connected to an offshore gas platform. The Pelican South reservoir has 1 drill center, which is closer to the platform. The offshore gas handling platform will be taller than 6 infinity columns stacked on top of one another. The platform is unstaffed and generates its own power, making it safer and reducing the project's environmental footprint. Routine maintenance visits will be made by a supply vessel to confirm safe and efficient operations. The natural gas requires only minor treatment before entering a new 160-kilometer pipeline to shore. Along its side runs a fiber optic cable that allows the platform to be monitored and controlled remotely. As the pipeline approaches the shore, it will dive beneath the sea floor. Using the latest low-impact pipe tunneling technology, the pipeline will pass under the beach without disturbance to the environment. It will remain buried until it reaches a small metering station, just over a kilometer inland. The natural gas will now enter the Romanian transmission system. Neptune Deep will bring new revenues and investments to the country's economy. And it will contribute to the building of a cleaner and more secure energy future for Romania.
Let me also express my gratitude to our Ukrainian friends and guests today, Mr. PROKIP and Mr. RYABCHYN, for taking the time to joining us today here. Thank you very much for Mr. BURDUJA's video message, as he was unable to join us in person. Thank you very much, Mr. Bușoi. Thank you very much, Mr. Alexandru MAXIMESCU, for being part of this panel. It's the second or the third time that I'm moderating an energy panel as part of this forum. I really do hope it's not my last moderation, but I really do hope it's the last time that I will have to do it during wartime, and that we can focus exclusively on how the Romanian and Ukrainian partnership and towards rebuilding Ukraine can grow. Thank you very much. Have a great afternoon. Future panel is coming in 5 minutes approximately. So a very, very short break now, but the next panel is just about to start. Thank you very much.